Doppler Online. Today is an enhanced risk day across the Deep South, and if you live anywhere from Jackson, Mississippi to Birmingham, Alabama, this is your day to be locked in. The Storm Prediction Center has flagged a corridor where tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds are all on the table, and nearly 9 million people sit inside the threat zone. Today's Doppler score is 7.2 out of 10, a high-threat day driven by tornado and hail risk across some of the most populated cities in the Mid-South. Before this briefing ends, I am going to give you my specific call on where I think the first tornado warning fires and what time you need to be sheltered by. If you want that call every time a setup like this comes together, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a briefing. My read on this setup is simple. The low-level wind field across the Deep South is extraordinary today, and that is the ingredient that separates a rough thunderstorm day from a tornado day. On your screen now is the GFS Model 250 millibar jet stream forecast. Upper-level energy is rotating into the central United States with a speed maximum aimed directly at the Mid-South, providing the lift storms need to explode vertically once they form. Now looking at 850 millibar winds. A powerful low-level jet is screaming northward out of the Gulf of Mexico into Mississippi and Alabama, funneling rich moisture and cranking up rotational energy in the lowest levels of the atmosphere, with storm relative helicity values over 500 across southern Mississippi. Here is the surface-based Cape overlay with wind shear crossovers. Instability is building across the southern plains and lower Mississippi Valley with solid storm fuel in place, and wind crossover contours are stacking directly over the highest energy, right along the Mississippi and Alabama border. The one variable I am watching is the cap. If the capping inversion holds past 7 p.m., the tornado window will be shorter and storm coverage more isolated, but current trends suggest it breaks by mid-afternoon. The tornado probabilities are the piece of this forecast that should have your full attention, so let me walk you through exactly what they show. On your screen now is the Day 1 categorical risk map. That orange enhanced zone is draped directly over Birmingham, Alabama and Jackson, Mississippi, surrounded by the yellow slight risk extending into Atlanta, Montgomery, and Shreveport. This is the bullseye for today's severe weather. Now looking at the Day 1 tornado probability map. This is the hazard I want you focused on first. A 10% tornado probability is centered over central Mississippi into the Mississippi and Alabama border region, and that zone carries significant threat hatching. What that means on the ground is that EF2 or stronger tornadoes are in play across this corridor. These are the kind of tornadoes that destroy well-built homes, snap hardwood trees at the base, and turn debris into projectiles. If you are in this hatched zone, you need a plan to reach an interior room on the lowest floor before warnings fire. Do not wait for the siren. This map shows the Day 1 damaging wind probability. A 15% wind contour stretches from central Texas through Arkansas and into western Tennessee. Winds strong enough to bring down trees and power lines are expected with any storm that develops along this corridor. Secure outdoor furniture and anything that can become airborne before storms arrive. Look at this overlay, the Day 1 hail probability map. A 15% zone for large hail sits over northern Mississippi and the Memphis vicinity, and significant hail hatching is concentrated right there. That means hail larger than 2 inches in diameter, large enough to shatter windshields and total a vehicle in minutes. If you have the option to park under cover today in this region, do it before lunch. Now I want to show you exactly which cities fall inside these risk polygons, because if your city is on this list, your afternoon plans need to change. At the highest risk, inside the enhanced zone, Birmingham, Alabama and Jackson, Mississippi. These two metros sit directly under the overlapping tornado, wind, and hail threat. Tuscaloosa, Hoover, and Meridian are right there with them. One step out, inside the slight risk, Atlanta, Montgomery, Columbus in Georgia, Shreveport, and Huntsville. You are not in the bullseye, but organized severe storms including isolated tornadoes can still reach you today. In the marginal zone, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Memphis, and Charlotte are all included. Isolated severe storms are possible, but coverage and intensity are lower. On your screen now is the HRRR model radar forecast. This shows you where storms are expected to develop and how they move over the next 18 hours. Scattered storms begin firing across central Mississippi by early to mid-afternoon, roughly between 2 and 3 p.m. Central Time. By 4 to 5 p.m., a broken line of supercells organizes along the Mississippi and Alabama border region, tracking northeast. The peak severe window runs from 4 p.m. through 9 p.m. across the enhanced zone, with storms pushing into the Atlanta metro area by late evening. If you are in central Alabama, do not let an overnight arrival catch you off guard. My call: Jackson, Mississippi sees the first tornado-warned supercell between 3 and 5 p.m. Central Time. That is where tornado probabilities, low-level shear, and instability overlap first as the cap breaks. No tornado or severe thunderstorm watches are active at this hour. That will change. I expect the Storm Prediction Center to issue the first tornado watch by early afternoon, likely covering central Mississippi and western Alabama. When that watch posts, treat it as your signal to stop what you are doing and finalize your shelter plan. Know where your safe room is. Have shoes on. Keep your phone volume up for wireless emergency alerts. I am putting the action plan on your screen right now. First, charge your phone fully before noon and turn on wireless emergency alerts. Second, identify your shelter spot now, an interior room on the lowest floor away from windows. Third, if you are in the enhanced zone, move vehicles under cover before 2 p.m. Fourth, if you have family members who sleep through storms, set a plan for waking everyone if warnings come after dark. Ask yourself this. If a tornado warning hits your neighborhood at 9 p.m. tonight while the kids are getting ready for bed, does every person in your house know exactly where to go? Now looking at Day 2. On your screen is the Day 2 categorical map. The severe weather focus shifts south and east, with a marginal risk centered over the central Gulf Coast, including Jacksonville, Florida. The Day 2 tornado probability shows just a 2% area along the coast from southern Mississippi through southern Alabama. No significant hatching. This is a much lower threat day. The hail outlook for Day 2 is clean, nothing on the map. Day 3 drops to general thunderstorms only, and Days 4 through 8 show no organized severe weather threat anywhere in the lower 48. After tonight, you get a real break. Doppler tracking. Doppler out.